We've started a series of videos that we would like to use to discuss campaign issues and things about our campaign, and give you a chance to get to know me a little bit better by the use of a video series that we're going to title Conversations Around a Dining Room Table. And we're sitting in my campaign headquarters, in my home, in my dining room, around the dining room table. And this is the place which is very appropriate for this campaign, because this is for this videos as well, because this is the place that is really truly our nerve center. This is where we work. My staff and my volunteers and I sit around this table. We're engaged in all types of different activities, and we work around this thing pretty much 24/7, it seems like. But this dining room table in particular has a very important, significant meaning to me. It was a gift to my family when I was born, but more importantly, it was around this table that I learned a very important lesson in life, and I learned it from my mom. My mom had become inspired by a speech by President Lyndon Johnson that was back in the 60s, and it was called his Great Society speech. And my mother and a group of her friends, who were all very active in church, got together and said, we're going to do something different in Alabama, or in Elmore County, to try to help alleviate poverty. And they were truly inspired, because Johnson was asking for community initiatives to address the issues of poverty. And so these groups of ladies sat around this table for weeks, and I mean weeks upon end, discussing what they could do to create a program to improve the quality of life for people in my hometown. Now, I was about in the 3rd grade when this was going on, and I'd come home in the afternoons. I'd walk from school, and I'd come into the house, and there was a buzz in our dining room, and it was an energy in our household. And they would be around this table debating and talking about things, and it was funny. I mean, it was a group of really, truly do-gooders, and I mean, they had these visions and ideas and hopes and dreams and aspirations, and it was really a lot of fun to be around some people excited about taking on an important issue in their lives. And none of them had ever done a grant proposal. None of them had worked for the government. But my mom was a lawyer, and she was sort of the leader of the group. And they sat around this table and drafted up a grant proposal. And I always remember, because my mom had to use her manual typewriter. This is back in the 60s, folks. And people didn't have copying machines, and had all of those multiple carbon papers and everything. They even used the cardboard out of my father's laundered shirts to put this proposal together. And you know, they were granted a proposal. And it created one of the first community action programs in Alabama, and it was called the Elmore Community Action Program, and my mother became the executive director until she retired. But I learned something very important, that it is from that whole experience, that when you truly believe in something and you want to make a difference in this world, you can do it if you will put your mind to it and be willing to dare out there to go after it. And so this is an appropriate place for us to start our conversations around the dining room table, and it's an important place that's brought inspiration into my life, and hopefully it will bring inspiration to Alabama, as this group of people who are volunteering and working hard on our campaign are engaged in this effort to make Alabama a better place by changing our Alabama Supreme Court. And I really appreciate your help. Thanks.